One of the major issues here is the process, which
Absolutely.
of course, corruption
Absolutely.
is not only when you dip your hand and take money.
Absolutely.
Corruption is about due process. Due process at times could, when you don't follow due process, could be termed as corruption.
Was due process not followed?
No, that's what he raised. Governor's issue that it was not, the board is not aware, it was not put in the note, the Minister of State that is.
But now that we now know that the Act does not require the board to give those kind of approvals, can we say that due process was not followed?
No, you will tell us.
Well, I don't see.
From the law that we have, the NNPC Act,
1977 or 2010?
The amended Act of the NNPC,
2010.
which states that fine there is a tender board, the NNPC tender board, but there is a board which the day-to-day activities is in the hands of the GMD, but issues that has to do with approvers of contract, approvers of deals and loans are supposed to be through the approver and the knowledge of the chairman.
Listen, the chairman of the board, as we all know, is the president.
Really?
Yes, because he's the Minister of Petroleum.
But he has said that Mr. Kachuku should be the chairman.
The Minister of Petroleum, ultimately, he can delegate the responsibility. But ultimately, by constitution, by law, he is the chairman of the board. That's number one. Number two, the NNPC Tenders Board is responsible for giving these approvals. In the absence of some conditions where the FEC needs to approve. So if it's the FEC or the Tenders Board, you do not have to go through the Minister of State. In fact, there is even an issue about the position of Minister of State. We all know that there was a court case when Ojumogobia was Minister of State, where they said that as Minister of State, every decision he took was null and void because the Constitution does not recognize the position. There are so many issues. But to think that this is $25 billion missing, contracts awarded. I even heard some of my respected leaders saying that they should cancel the contracts and re-award them. I mean, it's becoming humorous.
You know.
But then we're in that kind of climate.
When we are in,
so we have to understand.
When we talk about NNPC, one, the ears of Nigeria.
Of course, they pick up.
And for your party, for example, there has come out to say, look, there is a lot of rot in the NNPC. What do you think your party should be doing right now in terms of the perception about the scenario which just played out in the past weeks?
Let me tell you a secret amongst politicians. Most Nigerians don't know. Nigerians usually combine forces to, Nigerian politicians usually join forces to steal people's money. Now what you see is in a party, in a system that is run by APC, you're seeing that inside the system, people are challenging each other. So it's open. That criticism, that scrutiny is coming from within APC. Really? It's not PDP that did that raised this revelation. So it was APC. So do you understand what I'm saying by the fact that the government is transparent enough, where even within its system, it can cross-check itself? That is good. It didn't used to be like that. Before, what used to happen is collusion. The Nigerian politicians will be telling you about ethnic sentiments and tribes, but they'll go inside the house and share the money. Nobody will hear about it.
Do you also agree with some of the party members who are aggrieved that some of the appointments have been leaned towards a particular ethnic group or a particular region of the country?
Listen, I think that there must be transparency in all these things you're doing. There is no doubt that lots of people have that sentiment.
Is it
I don't have the facts.
Is it sentiment?
I'm telling you the sentiment because I don't have the facts to prove it. If they have such facts to prove it, I would suggest they put it down. But let's not forget that in the civil service, you have it leaning in different directions. In the political establishment, you have it leaning in different directions. The truth of the matter is that Nigeria is very, very ethnically divided. If they appoint somebody like me today, it will offend other people. If they appoint somebody else, it will offend my people. So you have this my people, my people, my people sentiment.
Mr. Prince, do you have a feeling that the Southeast region is not favorably put in the context of, in terms of appointment?
I'm too responsible to be talking about sentiment. So let me tell you what
No, these are not sentiments.
I'm talking about, you're asking me a sentiment.
For example.
I don't have the facts.
For example.
Let me just finish by saying this.
Okay, go ahead.
Any responsible government should carry out a diversity audit on itself. In other words, what positions have I allocated and to whom? It should be transparent. It should be open. In fact, that audit can be done independently so that you can now lay to rest this sentiment, because I'm sure that when you do a diversity audit on this government, you'll be shocked at what you'll find. Having said that, can we do better? Of course the government can do better. I'm not a spokesman for the government, but as a member of the APC, I don't doubt that the APC can do better. But to think or suggest that this is the way it goes, no, it's not fair now. It's not responsible.
If you do a performance audit on your party...
Diversity audit.
No, I'm asking you a question now.
Performance audit.
If you do a performance audit on your party, how would you rate your party?
I would say that we're doing pretty well. I mean, let me explain something to you that many people don't understand. The APC has never been in government before. They came with what you might call aspirations. I think they received a rude shock. That meant that they started with an unsteady step. But I believe they've gathered themselves. They've gathered their thoughts on the area of security. I'm impressed by what's going on. Definitely it could be better. I'd like to see improvements. In the area of the economy, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. There's a lot of progress, of course. Let me explain to you why people are not happy. It is what they're going through now. Nigerians want it now. They've seen it. They've suffered it. They're tired of waiting.
If they are being promised, why can't they want it now?
No, it's reasonable to want it now, even if they're not
But
promised.
why would you promise it when you cannot deliver it?
Well, listen, let me explain something to you. There's a process. Even if you plant the seed, it takes time to grow. So have you planted the seed? The answer is yes. Will it grow? Yes. Will it grow today? Of course not. It will not. You have to water the seed. You have to nurture it. And I believe that if you look carefully at what's going on, you see that our 2018 will be a lot better than our 2017. Even now, we're seeing a better 2017 final quarter than we did earlier. So progress is being made, but it's slow. We need to speed up the process. I'm glad the president's speech said we need to accelerate what we're doing. Nigerians can't wait anymore. So the reality is that they're suffering, and that suffering, they want to see it end. To that extent, they're not going to be satisfied. They're not going to be happy. A hungry man is an angry man. So our government has a responsibility to speed things up. Of that, I have no doubt.
If you look at what is happening and the time that you have, politically speaking, do you think that your party can take this pace? You said things are slow. Can your party take this pace into 2019 and come out successful?
You're beginning to sound like a politician now, Shehu.
I'm a political journalist, so
yeah, but
sometimes I get in the head of politicians.
Yeah, but see, 2017 isn't even over yet. You're talking about 2019. Everybody is in this election mode. No, the president is not. His ministers are not. The government is not. They recognize that they have a responsibility. A week is a long time in politics.
Is it not commonsensical to think of a second term when you are in your first term, politically speaking?
As far as I'm concerned, you should work towards finishing your first term well.
All right, we take a breather, and up next on the program, the national chairmanship position of the PDP is up for grabs. Contenders are knocking on relevant doors to get endorsed, but there is hurdle of zoning. We'll talk about that when we return, plus more issues on the state of governance in Nigeria.